the hypothesis. We may be proposing some new hypothesis that has to be tested. So this proposal will actually test the hypothesis. It will also answer the existing questions. The proposal may be outlining a new hypothesis, which is trying to explain or give answers for existing problems. And it will also generate some new questions or queries and also find solutions for those problems. And to be termed as a research, an investigation must be valid, reliable, and with unbiased conclusion. Whatever results are obtained through the investigation, they are unbiased conclusions. We may be having a hypothesis which we need to do the investigation and find out the results. Based on our assumption or our interest, we cannot put the results. So results are giving unbiased conclusion. Okay. So what is a research protocol? So coming to the protocol, it is a written detailed plan of a study. What are all the activities that we are going to do under the proposal? It has to be listed under the protocol. And it informs on what will be done, why it has to be done, and how it can be done. An experiment given under the proposal will be covered under what experiment is going to be done and why it is done and how it is to be performed, like collecting a kind of a specific cell-based assay and the procedure to conduct that experiment and what outcome you will get out of this experiment. All those things will be coming under the protocol. It actually clarifies the idea and directs focus to all aspects of the investigation. That means the results you obtain through this protocol will help you to take a path forward. And it also guides the research, especially if there are multiple investigators. If there are chemistry synthesis involved and pharmacological activity involved, based on the results obtained in the pharmacology experiments, the synthesis can be modified. The molecule can be optimized. So that is how it will guide the research if it is involving multiple investigators. And it is also necessary for institutional ethical approvals. We need to get proper approvals for conducting animal experiments or even for human trials. We need to get proper approvals. These are all coming under the protocol. And it is also necessary for applying for a project funding. So what are the next is the criteria for a good research protocol? It will cover mind and that has to be investigated. So this protocol will help you answer the study question. It will also help achieve the study objective. And the protocol that we propose or captured in the proposal need to be experiment that can be doable and it should be feasible under normal conditions. And the experiment should be repeatable, replicable, and information provided should be sufficient to permit study replicability. If somebody from another country or another lab wants to conduct the same experiment, he should be able to perform and get the similar results on the experiments. And we should also be able to the process and the competence of the investigators, because it will actually highlight the quality of the researcher. Based on the protocol that we propose in a proposal, the reviewers or the funding agency who is going to evaluate the proposal, they will decide, okay, the quality of the research proposal and the protocols are very good. They are of the high standard level and they are of the state-of-the-art methods that can be funded. So that also will be helpful for getting a fund. And coming to the elements of the research protocol, if you see, the title is very, very critical. Whatever title we propose, it should be a catchy and also it should cover the key aspects of the hypothesis that we are going to investigate. And it should also contain an abstract or a project summary. Project summary will be given at the end of the investigation. Abstract may be given when you propose the initial proposal. And the project description about the background, about the need for the study, all those things will be under project description. We should also cover a title under national status. Who are all the key people working on this area that has to be covered, and their key publications, their results, and what motivates you based on these results, what motivates you to undertake this particular work, that is important. And similarly, international status, who are the stalwarts in this field, who are working in other countries and who have got prominent results in this area, that also has to be covered, because this will help you to give a proper protocol for the study. Otherwise, if you don't know what is done in the national and international status, thinking that it is very novel and this experiment that we are going to perform may be suitable for proving the hypothesis, we may be under that impression. That should not be there. So in order to avoid that, we need to benchmark our protocols based on the national and international status and the rationale. Why you want to do this particular activity, for whether it is a synthesis or whether it is a pharmacological activity or maybe a clinical trial, why you want to do this, the rationale. What is the need for doing this, that has to be highlighted. Novelty. Similar work must have already been published. And what is the need for doing this? That novelty. Maybe we are proposing some new concept, maybe a new novel formulation, maybe a neosomal formulation or a targeted delivery using a transferrin or a folic acid targeted delivery. So that should be the novelty that has to be highlighted. And at the end of the work, it has to be published in the form of a publication or a patent. And ethical considerations, what kind of ethical approvals are required, that has to be captured there. And timeline and milestones, when will you start the project, how long it will take to collect the material, maybe the chemical or the plant material for isolation, or maybe creating animal models. So that timelines and milestones, after the end of each timeline or a milestone, what will be the result you get, that has to be captured during the proposal preparation under the protocols. And problems anticipated, maybe we will be trying to create a new animal model, we will encounter a problem, that we can anticipate some problems during that process, that can also be captured. In case we fail in getting this particular result or an animal model or outcome from that particular study, what is your plan B? That has to be indicated there. Next, a very important point is budget. Especially when you apply for a project, the budget should be kept as much as lower level, because if it is going beyond 30 lakhs or 40 lakhs, it will go to the second level of financial sanction authority. They will scrutinize that. So in order to avoid time delay and further failure in getting sanction, we need to make sure that the first proposal we propose may be below 30 lakhs. And the references, important references should always be captured. We cannot omit important references. It may be a similar work that is published, that reference has to be incorporated in the proposal. And the research team, who are all part of the team. It may be a multidisciplinary team, maybe a chemistry people are involved, or synthetic and formulation scientists in the Sutix department are involved. Pharmacology may be the main work and ultimately you want to make a production of the particular product. Maybe industrial experts may institute, you would like to take it technical institute. That research team and their contribution and their role that they are going to play in the project all have to be clearly mentioned. And annexures, additional informations about the relevant publications, background investigations you have already done, and the infrastructure facility already available in the institution or in the investigators portfolio. All those things will also be captured under the protocol. Next, going to the project title, very, very important, as I mentioned. It actually gives a preview of the project. By reading the title itself, the referees will understand whether it is a very relevant project or maybe it is a similar project that is already done. So that title gives a preview of the project. So that is the phase itself. So it should be concise, but can be detailed also, depending on the requirement. And it should accurately express or reflect the study. What kind of study you want to undertake? Maybe a synthesis, optimization, and evaluation of anti-cancer activity of benzimidazole compounds, through what mechanism you can indicate. Like that, the title should capture those important points. And it describes
Participants, do bear with us. There is a small technical issue. Speaker will join in few minutes.
Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Sir?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay, where I left.
The project title.
Can I start from the project title or? Okay, fine. Okay, sorry for the printers. Okay. Okay, coming to the project title, it is actually giving you a preview of the project. What we need to be careful is we need to write the title as a concise title.
Sir, can you hear
But
me?
sometimes we can also add some
Sir, excuse me, sir.
details.
Can you hear me,
And
sir?
it should
Hello?
accurately express or reflect the study, and it describes what is to be done. And in case of clinical trials, the study population and the variables like the inclusion, exclusion criteria, all those things have to be indicated. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yeah. I am able to hear. Am I audible?
Now it's audible, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Now you're audible, sir. Please you continue, sir.
Hello.
Sir, now you're audible. Please to continue. Hello? Sir, now you're audible, sir. Please to continue, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, now you're audible. Please to continue, sir.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, fine. So coming back to the title, okay. Fine. Thank you. So yes, I am continuing. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, again,
sure,
voice is lagging
sure.
and
I am
in
starting.
between there's a break, sir.
Okay.
There is a break in between, sir.
Hello.
Hello? Sir, there is a
Study.
break in between.
And sometimes about the clinical trials, we can include the study population, the variations like exclusion, inclusion criteria, all
Dear participants, there is a technical issue with the speaker's internet. So kindly bear with us and be online. He'll be soon back.
Hello. Ram Panvantar. Ram.
இல்ல எனக்கு அந்த மாதிரி எதுவும் வரல லிங்க் கொடுத்தா கரெக்டா தான் போச்சு நான் உள்ள அட்மிட் ஆயிடுச்சு சாரோட வாய்ஸ் ஆடியோல இருக்கு
Hello. 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 I have rejoined. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Can we
now, sir.
restart?
Yes, sir. Start, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay. So I think the project title is getting stuck. So we will move on to the next slide. Or maybe we'll continue with the title itself. So title is very important. It has to be very concise, as I mentioned. And a few examples of the title are shown there. If you look at the second title, New Generation Low Molecular Weight Heparin Analogs as Anti-Thrombotic Agents and Preclinical Evaluation. It actually captures all the details about the project. It is a new generation low molecular weight heparin analogs, their synthesis, anti-thrombotic activity, and this activity is going to be measured under preclinical conditions. So this title actually covers all the points required for the proposal. So this is very important. Similarly, you go to the nanodrug polymeric nanostructures for treatment of microbial infection. That is also similar to giving the microbial activity. It is composing nanodrug polymeric nanostructures. The fourth one, novel nanostructured enabled drug delivery system for the treatment of tauopathy in animal model. So this is again an activity for an Alzheimer's activity.
Hello? Sir, can you hear us, sir? I think there is a break, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. So moving on to the next slide, the project summary or an abstract. It gives an outline of the entire project. We need to write around 300 words. Sometimes some funding agencies will require you to write little less. It should cover around 300 words. So what it shows, it describes the research problem and the research questions or hypothesis and the justification for the research, how it will differ from existing studies. So based on the literature search and all the details, you have to highlight why you want to do this and the objective and the study design, what kind of experiments are going to do and what kind of instruments you will use, what kind of cell lines, what is the information you will get out of those experiments. And the expected outcome can also be indicated. And the anticipated problems, as we indicated earlier, problem identification, how you arrived at the problem, and the justification rationale for the literature review and the study goals and objectives, the hypothesis, study design, research methodology, the expected outcome of the study. So this actually covers the entire project proposal. It is the body of the proposal. Then research problem identification, it explains the research problem. Maybe based on the current scenario like a COVID virus spread, maybe we undertake some projects to evaluate some natural compounds for anti-COVID activity. So that is based on the current problem. Okay. So it should answer the questions in a logical way. Why you need to do this research? To get any new knowledge, or is there any problem in the gap in the knowledge that has to be addressed? And justification of the rationale, that is also important. It argues why the research should be done. So this is actually an important point you need to write. Several people are undertaking similar work, and why you want to take this? What is the important aspect that you want to highlight that your project will get funded? That is the argument that you have to put forth in order to secure the and how we will apply the results to who will be the benefiting audience out of this study. So we have taken an example of targeting BRK cancers with small molecule inhibitors. If you look at the description, they have written approximately 80% of the breast cancers overexpress the kinase breast tumor kinase BRK protein kinase. This based on oncogenic roles in breast cancer proliferation. So that's how they describe the problem. So in this study, what they want to do is they have highlighted BRK inhibitors have not been explored as a possible therapeutic. They say BRK inhibitors have yet to be explored as possible therapeutic tool. That means known as explore this as a therapeutic tool. They want to undertake this activity. So in this study, they propose a parallel compound-centric approach to cover new pharmaceutical agents. That is their so selectively inhibit the kinase site BRK and its downstream signaling, resulting in an anti-proliferation potential on oncogenic BRK transformed cells. This is how this activity, the structure of key components has been indicated in the proposal.
Dear participants, thank you for your kind cooperation and patience. Due to the technical problem with the speaker, the session has been postponed. So the time and schedule will be mailed immediately in few minutes like that. So kindly cooperate. Thank you.